Hey everybody, welcome to the Shot Clock with Dave Rubin, Ben Mankiewicz, and Jason Rubin. A lot of us felt this way about the trade deadline yesterday. Joel Embiid captured the hearts of America. Let's take a look at the tweet. Someone tell me what's going on. Please help. I think he got that one spot on. Joel Embiid has one of the best Twitter accounts to follow, but let's run through real quick the chaos that happened for about 4 hours. Twitter, real quick before we get to that, does anybody remember trade deadlines before Twitter? Because how do you find the news? What would happen?
I don't remember anything before Twitter, actually.
Well, I mean, I worked in newsrooms since 1989, and you had a ticker.
Okay.
And, you know, you'd watch television, listen to the radio. A lot of AM radio I used to listen to because, you know, the biggest trade deadline for me always. It's nice to see basketball a little bit catching up to the baseball trade deadline. But I'd always pay attention on July 31st and then again on August 31st. But that was always a great, great day. And a lot of AM radio is what it used to be.
Wait, to your point, so the trade deadline was moved up this year, correct? Was the trade deadline
I don't know.
always, I don't think the trade deadline was always right after the All-Star break.
I thought it was before the All-Star break.
I don't know. I don't know. There's no tradition in the NBA with the trade deadline. Baseball has a solid trade deadline. But this, whatever they've set, this worked, giving teams time over what is now an extended All-Star break to reassess, to talk. It's almost like it's almost the same way the winter meetings are in baseball, or off-season meetings. Like you have time to really talk to another general manager, to assess, to meet with your team, to meet with your, the management staff and figure out what you need. And I think that has worked well. Fans love trades. They're, and so whatever the NBA did, it worked.
And in some players' cases, you can decide if you have an injury and want to still play in the All-Star game and then announce you're going to get surgery after, but we'll get to that after.
We're going to get to that later. So let's take a look real quick.
We'll
run through some of the trades. Mike, let's start with the first graphic. So the Kings and Wizards swap point guards. The Wizards got about 10 years younger Ramon Sessions to the Bullets, Andre Miller to the Kings. The Sixers get JaVale McGee from the Nuggets, and yes, JaVale McGee, Oklahoma City first-round pick in a crazy trade that occurred. The Pelicans picked up Ish Smith. Of course,
by the way,
included draft considerations.
Included in that trade, with you see there is Chuck Woodby Madabaum.
That is my
was a guy
basketball team.
Also traded in that. He's never played in the NBA. I believe he was drafted in 2009. But look at the guy below that. They acquired the Denver gets the rights to guard forward Cenk Akyol, who I believe was drafted in 2005.
Really?
And for whatever nonsense thing has to happen with salary cap in the NBA, you're still moving guys who, like, everybody knows. Nobody's playing.
Can we confirm that that guy is a Turk?
Oh, he's Turkish.
He's Turkish.
I looked him up yesterday.
Sure.
He's currently playing in the Turkish league.
You could join Edu Turgulu as another Turkish player in the NBA. Let's move forward to the next one.
Well, let's wait real quick. Let's just real quick on that one, just in honor of Ben. We have to talk about the Wizards for a second here. You have to feel good about this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking last week or the week before that Andre Miller. There ain't much left in the tank.
The Wizards got Andre Miller last year for the second half of the season, and he played pretty well. He is noticeably slower this year.
He's lost about 10 steps.
And so the speed of the game when Miller came in was so dramatically reduced from John Wall. To get another fast point guard, even if Sessions does nothing more than play the 12 to 15 minutes that John Wall doesn't play, is an upgrade. But the fact is, with Bradley Beal hurt, he can play with Wall, and that's a lot of speed.
It's an option.
It's a big upgrade. It's nothing short of a win. Because honestly, as much as we all love Andre Miller, merely not playing Andre Miller, I think, is a win.
So we're going to go through the rest of these trades, and then we're going to throw to you guys to hear who you thought won and lost. Prigioni goes to the Rockets. Well, Alexei Shved and 2 second-round picks go to the Knicks. KJ McDaniels is also a Rocket, while Philadelphia gets Isaiah Canaan. We move forward.
Good trade to get KJ McDaniels.
Yes, it was. Point guard Isiah Thomas, Jonas Jerebko, and Luigi, great name, Datome, and go to the Boston Celtics. Marcus Thornton to the Suns. The Blazers land Afflalo. That was the first big move of the day. A great move for the Blazers, while Denver picked up Thomas Robinson, Will Barton, Victor Claver, a first-round pick that is protected. Moving forward, we have Knight to the Suns. This was another major trade. This happened later in the day. Brandon Knight to the Suns, as well as Kendall Marshall. So the Suns lose 2 point guards, pick up 2 more point guards. They probably still have 3 point guards in the system. And the Milwaukee Bucks get Michael Carter-Williams, who cannot shoot, the lesser Plumlee brother, and Tyler Ennis, including in Philadelphia, got some draft picks out of that one. The Pistons get Reggie Jackson. The Thunder is ecstatic because they picked up Enes Kanter, Steve Novak, DJ Augustine, Kyle Singler, and don't seem to be too upset that Reggie Jackson is not on the Thunder anymore. I believe there is one more. I could be wrong. We move forward. Yes, the Wolves bring back Kevin Garnett to Minnesota.
There is one more, the big one.
Yeah.
And, of course, the big one, Miami gets Goran Dragic and the brothers Goran Dragic, while Phoenix acquires Danny Granger and John Salmons. And New Orleans gets Norris Cole, Justin Hamilton, Sean Williams. One thing about Norris Cole, one of the best tweets I read all day was before the trade deadline started, somebody tweeted out, if Norris Cole is still on the Miami roster, we riot. They wanted him so far out of there. So
yeah,
Ben,
not apparently as much as Oklahoma City wanted Reggie Jackson going.
That's what the Thunder.
Those yes, the tweets from Russell Westbrook saying first of all that we were a championship caliber team before we're still a championship caliber team. No one said it'd be tough to lose Reggie, and the great tweet from Kevin Durant that it's tough to lose Perk, meaning Kendrick Perkins, and the other guys. You got the impression, I don't know this, but listening to the radio, and I was listening to NBA radio all day, that guy clearly was a problem in the locker room for them. It doesn't mean that he's necessarily a problem player. You know, when you're a young player, he obviously wants to run his own team. He showed when Westbrook was out last year that he's capable of it. Are the Pistons getting a top-tier point guard? I don't think so. Most NBA analysts don't seem to think so. But that said, him playing 35 minutes is him better than him playing 20
this is deja
for him.
Vu. This is deja vu. Brandon Jennings will be back on the Pistons from his injury next year, and Reggie Jackson will be the number 2 again behind him.
Yeah, they could play together, though. They could play together. They may have some trouble guarding.
Brandon Jennings is having quite a good season.
He would, but Brandon Jennings is a scoring point guard when he's at his best. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But it's so let's get to with the trades we like best.
Well, it's pretty obvious which the best one is, right? Can we throw that last graphic up again? Because obviously Dragic going to Miami is the best one. Do we know anything about the contract situation? Has Pat Riley discussed any of this yet?
No, but I saw, so Yahoo Sports gave the trade a B+ because they're saying that, Dragic might not stay past this year. Of course he's going to stay.
Yeah.
One, they have the bird rights to him now, so they have the chance to pay him more money, give him the extra year.
Yeah.
Of course he'll stay. Yes, it's a bad trade giving up 2 ones if he doesn't stay. It's a terrible trade.
Right.
For a team that's under 500.
What I love most about this trade is that it's the Knicks and the Celtics were throwing a lot of things out there for Goran Dragic, making it seem like Dragic is this cornerstone franchise point guard, and you need to build a team around him. No, putting him on a team that already has pieces like Hassan Whiteside, who's been unbelievable this season, 20 games all year long, and of course Dwayne Wade, what's left of him, and Chris Bosh, who's had a great season. The quick note of
we don't know.
Bosh's,
blood clotting.
Blood clots in his lungs. Hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully he'll be healthy because what's his name? Jermaine Kersey. This is exactly what he passed.
Jerome Kersey. Just real quick on Jerome Kersey. You know that was that Blazers team in the early '90s. That was my favorite team ever in basketball.
Yeah, we were just talking about him last week.
Yeah, and I love that guy. He was such a hustler guy. Oh, we're right. We talked about him on the show. 2nd round pick out of Longwood College. Nobody thought the guy was ever going to play, and he ended up he never made the All-Star team, but was right there.
Yeah, one of my best friends, grew up in Portland, longtime Blazer fan, an actor now, a guy named Kelly O'Coin, and yes, he had the same reaction as you. Just like it's weird. You don't know these guys; they're not your friends, but you feel a closeness and a bond with them. And he was probably like you.
And
that's a disturbing piece.
We shared the same birthday, June 26th.
Steve Blake is changing his number so they can retire Jerome Kersey.
Is that right?
Yes. That's a cool move
Very
from Steve Blake. I'm going to disagree with you on what the best trade is, although I think that's potentially a great move. By the way, I think Dragic, I watch a lot of Suns game, and I've bet on them a lot. And I never quite understood why Cotton Fitzsimmons, because he'll always be the Suns coach, no matter who the Suns coach is. I don't understand why Cotton Fitzsimmons doesn't, Dragic, the ball needs to go through him. And there is literally a lot of times, Dragic will give the ball up to whether he gave it up to Bledsoe or Isiah Thomas, and then Dragic goes into the corner, and there he stays for the rest of the possession. And the guys at Grantland, Bill Simmons said that, in their way of looking at it, that Dragic was the 4th best guard in the league last year.
Right. So, Ben, let's take a look at Goran Dragic's shot chart, and we can discuss more about this trade and how it's going to impact the Heat. So, as you can see, from the top, he's a good 3-point shooter, straight dead on, and he really is, as Grantland pointed out, a great finisher, and he is a decision maker. He's a floor general.
I'm pretty sure, though, this chart illustrates Ben's point perfectly.
Yeah,
he runs to the corner. Look at those corner numbers.
Only in the Suns system.
So
they forced him to the corner.
Yeah, fucking Cotton Fitzsimmons, man.
For our younger fans.
Oh, that guy doesn't coach the Suns anymore. He may not even be alive.
I feel like he maybe isn't alive.
Yeah, well, but he was there for a long time. Jeff Hornacek, obviously, right?
Jeff Fitzsimmons.
Right, Jeff Fitzsimmons, right.
Yeah.
No, so I'm just puzzled by it. And so I think the Suns gave up their best player, and then I'd like to get to the other trade, and then I think the Suns gave up their 2nd best player. because, and not so much second best player, second best asset. That trade, the Celtics getting Isiah Thomas, giving up basically Marcus Thornton, and then I think sending Tayshaun Prince to the Pistons. Isiah Thomas, 3 years, $20 million left on his deal. Huge value there, huge value. This is a really good player. And for a team like Boston, you know, there's some unknowns with Miami. I don't think there's a real downside to getting Dragic, except is that a guy you really want to pay your maximum money to? We don't know what position the Heat are in. The Heat always wants to win now. And if Bosh and Wade are healthy, and both of those are big question marks now,
in the East,
then you add Whiteside and you add Deng and you add Dragic, and then the thought of a first-round matchup with the Cavaliers is cannot miss 1 second of any game in that series. But if those guys don't play, then I don't know. You gave up 2 number ones, and I don't see any downside for the Celtics to get 3 years and $20 million left on a really good player, a young player. A great move by Danny Ainge. To me, that was the best trade of the deadline, although I like the Dragic trade a lot.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't gloss over probably the most irrelevant trade, but just sort of sentimentally nice, which is Kevin Garnett going back to Minnesota, because when I was thinking about it, you know, most people, at this point, people almost forget that that's where he was a great player. Like when you think of him, you think of him in Boston, and you think of him winning the championship in Boston and getting the team to the finals another year. But that's where the guy put up all the numbers. That's where all the stats, all the All-Star games. He put the franchise on the map, right? So I like this. I like a guy, an old guy in the twilight, going home, you know, home so to speak.
And I was listening to Sam Mitchell, an assistant coach there now, who's been there forever. Yeah, it's a great comment from KG about Sam Mitchell. Yeah, so Garnett talking about Sam Mitchell. Sam Mitchell's loud ass, talks all the goddamn time, clowning Sam. I know him. I talked to him when he coached. I always called him the great Sam Mitchell, a high IQ, a man's man, he says, if you know what that means. Where's cologne? All that good shit. But a very, very straight-up guy. No nonsense. Came to work every day. Todd Hammonds, Terry Porter, Doug West. These are all hitters. These are all guys that come in with their hard hat and work hard. You know, if you're going to be anything around those guys, you've got to come in and meet the level. So 20 years later, nothing has changed.
Do you think he likes Sam Mitchell?
Yeah, and I heard Mitchell talking about it and why they thought it was important to get Garnett, and that's a nice story. I don't know what any of that means.
I'd like to know what kind of cologne he wears.
That's the real question.
Man, all that good shit.
What I like is that Sam Mitchell apparently wears a hard hat and cologne.
That makes you wonder. What's his second job?
Well, there you have it, guys. Let us know what you think about the NBA trade deadline, who won, most importantly, and who's going to make a run for the NBA Finals. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.